And I will begin straight away by inviting our very dear friend, Rafiq Kathwari, who's a Kashmiri, who obtained his MFA from Columbia University and is the recipient of the Patrick Kavanagh Poetry Award from Ireland. He divides his time between New York, Dublin, and Kashmir, where he was born. A Scorpio at midnight. I'm fascinated with that idea, Scorpio at midnight. So, Rafiq Kathwari, please, can you unmute yourself and join us? There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, then. Good to be here. Well, very quickly, I know I have 5 minutes. So here's the book.
Actually, you have 7 to 10 minutes. Sorry, Rafiq.
All right, then in that case, I'll promote my book. My Mother's Scribe, published by Yoda Press. Yes. It's about my mother's journey into mental challenges. The partitioned her mind. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, Sylvia Plath was a big inspiration for this. It's good to see you, Shadab. You look absolutely ravishing as always. And 3 very short poems. The first one is a one-liner. The idea was how much emotion can you compress into one line? And now it's become a poem for our pandemic era social distancing thing. The title. On receiving father at JFK after his long flight from Kashmir. As I fling my arms wide, he extends his hand. My next poem is written a long time ago. It was triggered by, and I think triggered is the right word, by a capture. Her dog, Golua, off the leash. How lucky he is not in Hebron, where gods kill dogs for sport. And finally, Waqas Khwaja mentioned that they lived in Ireland for 15 years, and they gave me a little award called the Patrick Kavanagh Award, which now subsequently has become next only to the Yeats Award. So this is my homage, 4-line homage to Patrick Kavanagh, based on a satire by Nasruddin Hoja, who lived in 14th century Ottoman Empire, which is now Turkey, as you all know. So we need a lot of more satire in our times. So here's my homage to Patrick Kavanagh. Veracity. May I borrow your donkey? A neighbor asked Kavanagh, who said, oh my God, I just loaned my donkey to someone else. And at that moment, the donkey brayed in the barn. And the neighbor, believing the donkey made Kavanagh a liar, asked, so what is that I hear? And Kavanagh said, friend, are you going to believe me or a donkey? Thank you very much. It's been a privilege being here, and see you around soon.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Rafiq. It's just been a delight to have you here. Thank you for making time for us. It's wonderful that you are here and that you shared your poems. Love your poetry book, the new poetry book as well. So I will promote it too. I think it is marvelous. All right, so we move on to the next poet. And the next poet is Remus Uzgiris, whom I came to know when I was visiting Lithuania with Kerry Keys there. And Remus is an extraordinary poet, translator, and critic. His work has appeared in Barrow Street, Hudson Review, the Poetry Review, and other journals. He's the author of North of Paradise and TARP, Poems translated into Lithuanian, shortlisted for Best Poetry Book of the Year. He's translator of 5 book collections, poetry book collections from Lithuanian poets, and translated the Venice Biennial Gold Lion winning opera Sun and Sea. He holds a PhD in philosophy and an MFA in creative writing from Rutgers Newark University, and he is a recipient of a Fulbright Scholar Grant, an NEA Translation Fellowship, and he teaches at Vilnius University. A really distinguished career, which is going to blossom even further as we go along. Remus, over to you.
Thank you so much, Wackes. I always feel embarrassed by those bios. But yes, we just had a 3-day conference on translation here at Vilnius University. It just ended this afternoon. And so now I'm putting on my poetry hat. And because I'm a dual citizen and I split my time, I'm going to split my poems between 2 set in, you could say, the United States and 2 in Lithuania. The first deals with the housing crisis. Vacancy. The sign does not signify, but continues to sign its days away in dull rotation over rusty hinges like a playground swing with no play. Windows gape mute mouths. They let day in, they let what out. The empty house is a vacuum that sucks in parching heat while the sun burns through the day. And nights come in quick with cold like bankers in black suits, prophets of a new wasteland. Someone's soul is now unstaked, an airy thing enslaved to any whim, whiplashed like rappers on the street. Homes were once grown into over time, as when stubborn trees expand through space in bars or links. Now on the other side of signs, there yawns a gap you cannot bridge as you roll your car along the road, sleeping next to Walmart, searching for a sign of things to come, Las Vegas, Reno, parking lots with bright lights. So you make a kind of home among the gnomes of noise, poking and prodding the machines until they flash, if, and you are free, conditionally, ready to make a choice or drift like deadwood on the sea. And this one speaks to the immigrant crisis. It was written a while ago, but that crisis, of course, doesn't seem to stop either here or in America. White news. I watch the market rooting for my stock like a child at a ballpark wearing the colors of his team. Bernanke has done well within the system, protecting all the right players from shock. But others infect our dreams, flickering over screens as we eat pasta and watch the pundits scream about lines being crossed as we speak, portals broken to our inner cultural selves. The American dream filled bottom up with grits. Pundits forget the universe in a grain of sand. A girl on a wire fence without food or drink sent home without trial, returned to scrub our sinks and bath tiles clean. Clean is what they think they need when they see themselves on the screen, but the market goes up and we are pleased. We hire a nanny from the South and buy a Barbie in dark hue. We learn to read Neruda in his tongue while Juan Rulfo's ghost haunts visitors that never meet their hosts. Borges has written us into a stylish labyrinth of desire with no Gretchen thread to lead us out. A monster of our own making prowls the plinth, eating ideas of purity until we are born again, minotaurs. One half climbs the market, the other climbs the fence. And now I'll switch to Lithuania. This poem is a villanelle that sort of repeats a theme of danger, which we face again. And it's a very historical situation. It's called A Potato on a Mine. Ravens wrangle like they wrangled countless times over space the size of a poem on a computer drive. Lithuania is a potato sitting on a mine. History's heroics are an ancient account of crimes in the pockets of peoples living where ravens connive to wrangle like they wrangled countless times. They must see something worthwhile that shines within these bogs and pines in order to deprive Lithuania of itself, a potato sitting on a mine. Perhaps there is a scrap in this midden of the divine, waiting for a prophet or messiah to arrive, to drive the wrangling ravens from this land for all time. It may suit some to see their country as a shrine, but whatever song, slogan, or lore they may contrive, Lithuania is a potato sitting on a mine. Is it any wonder that Lithuanians turn to rhyme in order for their ancient language to survive, when ravens wrangled, cutting, burning countless times? Still we eat our potatoes while sitting on a mine. And the last poem was written, thank you, a week after this latest invasion of Ukraine. Beginning of March, I wrote it probably, and it's based on going to Latvia to discuss the next issue of the Baltic Literary Review called No More Amber. We see mythological figures but don't know what they are. Ornate acanthine stone carvings under the eaves sprouting the chalices of flowers, and bare-breasted women holding up bay windows, balconies, then broken glass down the street, soot-stained stucco, remnants of an imperial past. The air today is cold crystal, through which a mad scientist scatters light, clouding the glass at times with his bated breath. Either way, we can't see him. A photograph of Eisenstein, the German Jewish architect of this aged Art Nouveau that now makes Latvia proud. His son would film warships, serving a different muse, a twisted version of which sends the V's of jet planes to strafe a sister city with glossolalic fire. Language has broken down, fragmented, become opaque like the eyes of the dead. Yet we go on reading it, cherishing it, like these embellishments on foreign walls. A Riga street scene from 1905. Russian signs plaster buildings. A policeman looks grimly at the camera. A Russian, German, Latvian, a human being in the jaws of history who has already been digested, and we don't know whose side he was on. Though at one point we can imagine he only wanted to eat, make love, have a family, settle down. We see buildings with women holding up the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We must really, really appreciate your being there.